culture of hustle is a psychological trap. It's designed to keep you weak. You've been told that burnout is a necessary sacrifice on the altar of success, that pushing through the pain, the exhaustion, the mental fog is a sign of strength, a badge of honor. That is the great deception of our time. And it's a lie that is systematically draining the power from men who have the potential for greatness. Because the truth, known only to a very small percentage of high performers, is that true strength isn't found in a frantic, desperate push. It is forged in the calm, deliberate and controlled application of an ancient operating system for the mind. In this video, we are not going to talk about life hacks or productivity tips. We are going to dismantle the burnout lie, piece by piece, and in its place, we will construct the Stoic alternative. A framework for building a mind so resilient, so focused, and so powerful that external chaos can no longer touch it. Before we begin, I want you to answer this in the comments. What was the moment you realized pushing through was no longer working for you? Let's be clear. The world you operate in is designed to burn you out. It is an environment of endless noise, digital notifications, social pressures, the constant gnawing demand for more output, more speed, more engagement. You are told to be tough, to be a provider, to be a leader, but you are given a faulty toolkit. The modern man is running an advanced piece of hardware, his mind, on outdated, corrupted software. The software of more is always better. The software of sleep when you're dead. The software of external validation. And so, when you feel the creeping exhaustion, the loss of focus, the cynicism, you believe the failure is yours. You think you aren't strong enough. You think you need to find more motivation, more discipline, another cup of coffee. But the problem is not you. The problem is the strategy. Burnout is not a personal failure. It is a strategic failure. It is the inevitable outcome of fighting a modern war with primitive weapons. Today, we give you the advanced weaponry. We give you the Stoic framework. 1. The anatomy of the burnout lie. The core of this lie is a simple seductive equation. Effort equals results. The more hours you grind, the more you sacrifice, the greater the reward will be. This is a factory worker mindset applied to the complex world of the knowledge worker, the leader, the creator. It's fundamentally flawed. It treats your mind like a machine, and your energy like an infinite resource. A man who thinks this way is easily manipulated. He can be convinced to trade his most valuable assets, his time, his focus, his sanity, for the illusion of progress. True progress isn't measured in hours worked. It's measured in clarity of thought and precision of action. The Stoic understands this. He doesn't work more, he focuses better, he doesn't push harder. He acts smarter. He rejects the brute force approach for one of surgical, intelligent application of his energy. 2. Your energy is a signal, not a resource. The burnout mindset tells you that fatigue is a deficit, an empty tank to be refilled with caffeine, sugar, or shallow motivational content. This is a profound error. Fatigue is not a deficit. It is data. It is a signal from your body and mind that your current strategy is unsustainable. Pushing through fatigue is like putting tape over your car's check engine light and driving faster. It doesn't solve the problem. It guarantees a catastrophic failure down the line. A Stoic treats fatigue with respect. He interrogates it. What is this feeling telling me? Is my focus fractured? Am I working on things that don't matter? Am I seeking validation instead of pursuing virtue? He sees exhaustion not as a sign of weakness to be ignored, but as a critical piece of feedback from his own internal system. And he adjusts his strategy accordingly. This is the difference between a fool and a strategist. 3. The tyranny of the external. Much of modern burnout is born from a single corrosive habit, outsourcing your sense of self-worth. You work to exhaustion to get the promotion, to earn the praise, to see the number go up. Your emotional state becomes dependent on things you do not control. A delayed email from your boss can ruin your evening. A critical comment can undermine your confidence. This is a state of psychological slavery. The first and most crucial Stoic principle offers the key to freedom, the dichotomy of control. There are things you can control and things you cannot. The opinions of others, the economy, the outcome of a project. These are external. They are not yours to command. Your thoughts, your judgments, your actions, these are internal. They are the only things in your domain. The man who burns out is obsessed with the external. The Stoic man is obsessed with perfecting the internal. 4. Mastering the dichotomy of control. This isn't a passive philosophy. It is an active, daily practice. It is a mental filter. Before you invest energy into a problem, you ask one simple question: is this within my control? If the answer is no, you practice acceptance. You do not waste a single moment of emotional or mental energy on it. If the answer is yes, if it relates to your own actions, your own mindset, your own response, then you apply your full, undivided attention. Imagine a skilled archer. He can control his breathing, his stance, his aim, the release of the string. He cannot control a sudden gust of wind. The mediocre archer frets about the wind. He gets angry. His next shot is compromised. The Stoic archer focuses exclusively on perfecting his form. He accepts the wind as part of reality. This is how the superior man navigates the world. He pours his energy into his own actions, and he lets the rest go. 5. The fallacy of positive thinking. Another trap of modern self-help is the idea that you can fight burnout with relentless positivity. Just think good thoughts. Visualize success. This is like trying to fix a crumbling foundation by applying a new coat of paint. It's superficial and fragile. When reality hits, and it always does, this fragile positivity shatters, leaving you more disillusioned than before. The Stoics had a much more robust, anti-fragile technique. It's called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. It is the practice of actively, calmly, and rationally imagining what could go wrong. Your project could fail. You could lose your job. The deal could fall through. This sounds negative, but it is the ultimate tool for psychological strength. It is a vaccine against anxiety and despair. 6. Premeditatio malorum in practice. How does this work? Let's say you're stressed about a major presentation. The burnout mindset is to work frantically, fueled by the fear of failure. The positive thinking mindset is to ignore the fear and repeat, I will succeed. The Stoic mindset is to sit down for 10 minutes and ask, what is the worst that can happen? The presentation goes poorly. My boss is disappointed. I feel embarrassed. Okay. Will I die? No. Will I lose my home? No. Can I recover from this? Yes. By confronting the worst-case scenario, you strip it of its power. The fear shrinks from a terrifying monster into a manageable problem. This practice doesn't make you a pessimist. It makes you a realist. It builds resilience by preparing you for adversity, so when it arrives, you are not surprised. You are prepared. This preparation is the source of true calm. 7. Building your inner citadel. The Stoics use the metaphor of an inner citadel, a fortress within your mind that no external event, no person, no misfortune can breach. This is not something you are born with. It must be built, brick by brick, through daily practice. Every time you choose to respond based on reason instead of reacting based on emotion, you add a brick. Every time you apply the dichotomy of control, you reinforce the walls. Every time you practice premeditating on challenges, you train the guards. Burnout happens when your inner world is defenseless, when every arrow of criticism, every gust of misfortune can pierce you to the core. The man who possesses an inner citadel can stand calmly in the middle of a hurricane. The chaos is external. Inside the fortress there is order, there is logic, and there is peace. His strength comes from within, so it cannot be taken from him. 8. The crucial difference between discomfort and damage. Modern culture confuses comfort with happiness. Therefore, all discomfort is seen as bad. This is a childish view of the world. The Stoics understood that voluntary, chosen discomfort is a tool for growth. This is like lifting weights. It is uncomfortable, but it leads to strength. This is not damage. Burnout, however, is not productive discomfort. It is damage. It is the mental and physiological equivalent of training until you tear a muscle. It does not make you stronger. It breaks you. The wise man must learn to distinguish between the two. Is this challenge stretching me, or is it tearing me? Am I in a state of productive strain, or am I causing systemic harm? The man who cannot tell the difference will inevitably destroy himself in the pursuit of growth. The Stoic uses reason as his guide. He embraces hardship that forges him and rejects suffering that diminishes him. 9. Amor fati, the formula for invincibility. This is one of the most powerful and misunderstood Stoic concepts. Amor fati means a love of one's fate. It is not passive resignation. It is not saying, I guess this is my life now. It is an active, enthusiastic embrace of whatever happens, even the bad things. Especially the bad things. The project failed? Good. This is an opportunity to learn what doesn't work. The economy is collapsing? Good. This is an opportunity to build resilience and find new solutions. This mindset transforms every obstacle from a roadblock into a source of fuel. The man who is constantly frustrated by reality is a man who is constantly draining his own energy. He is fighting a battle he can never win. The man who practices amor fati cannot be defeated, because whatever happens, he has already decided to see it as a benefit. He doesn't just tolerate reality, he loves it. This is the mindset of the truly powerful. 10. The strategic power of perspective, the view from above. When you are deep in a state of stress, your problems feel enormous, all-consuming. A missed deadline feels like the end of the world. The Stoics had a powerful meditation for this. Plato's view. It involves imagining yourself rising above your body, above your city, above your country, until you are looking down at the earth from space. From this vantage point, you see the entire sweep of human history, the rise and fall of empires, billions of lives lived and forgotten. And from that immense perspective, you look down at your specific problem, your stressful project, your annoying colleague. How significant is it really in the grand scheme of things? This exercise doesn't dismiss your problems, it contextualizes them. It shrinks them down to their true size. It breaks the emotional spell of urgency and allows you to re-engage with them from a place of calm, rational perspective. This is a tool very few men know how to use. 11. The myth of motivation. The man on the path to burnout is often desperately searching for motivation. He watches videos, listens to podcasts, seeks a jolt of energy to keep pushing. This is like trying to power a car by periodically giving it a push. It's exhausting and inefficient. Motivation is an emotion. It is fickle. It comes and goes. The elite man does not rely on emotion. He relies on discipline. Discipline is a system. It is a commitment to a process, regardless of how you feel. The Stoic philosophy is not a motivational speech. It is a system for discipline. It provides the logic and the tools to do what needs to be done, whether you feel motivated or not. Discipline, unlike motivation, is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The man who builds his life on the bedrock of discipline, not the shifting sands of motivation, is the man who will endure. 12. Action, not agitation. There is a vast difference between productive action and anxious motion. Burnout is often fueled by the latter. It's the constant checking of emails, the pointless scrolling, the frantic multitasking that accomplishes nothing. It feels like work, but it's just agitation. It's nervous energy, masquerading as effort. The Stoic practices what the Greeks called apatheia, which is not apathy, but a state of tranquility. From this state of calm, he can distinguish between the essential and the non-essential. His action is deliberate. It is focused. It is purposeful. Before he acts, he asks, is this moving me toward my goal? Is this the most effective use of my energy right now? He would rather take one precise, well-thought-out action than engage in 10 frantic, useless motions. This approach conserves energy and dramatically increases real output. 13. Your attention as a sacred currency. In our age, the most valuable commodity is not time or money. It is focused attention, and everything is trying to steal it from you. The social media feed, the breaking news alert, the endless stream of information. Each time your focus is broken, you pay a mental price. This constant switching of context is a primary driver of mental exhaustion. The Stoics called the practice of guarding your attention prosos. They understood that your inner world is shaped by what you allow your mind to dwell on. A mind that is constantly distracted is a mind that cannot build an inner citadel. It is a fortress with its gates wide open. To be a Stoic in the modern world is to be a ruthless guardian of your own attention. You must curate your information diet. You must be willing to be uninformed about the trivial. You must treat your focus as the sacred currency that it is, because it is the raw material of a powerful life. 14. The strategic power of the pause. The modern world tells you to go, 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 to never stop. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, arguably one of the busiest and most powerful men in history, did the opposite. He paused. He took time every single day to write to himself, to reflect, to analyze his own thoughts and actions. This is the practice of journaling. It is not a diary of events. It is a strategic review of your own internal operating system. In a journal, you can untangle your anxieties. You can question your assumptions. You can remind yourself of your principles. The man who never pauses to reflect is a man running on autopilot. He is doomed to repeat the same mistakes. The man who strategically pauses to reflect is a man who is actively programming himself for wisdom and resilience. The 10 minutes you spend with a journal can save you 10 hours of wasted, agitated effort. 15. Memento mori, the ultimate clarity tool. Remember you will die. This sounds morbid, but it is perhaps the most practical and energizing of all Stoic principles. The awareness of your own mortality is not meant to be depressing. It is meant to be a filter. When you are faced with a choice, a task, or a worry, you can ask yourself, in light of my impending death, does this truly matter? This question has a way of burning away the trivial, the petty arguments, the fear of what others think, the procrastination on your most important work. It all seems absurd when viewed through the lens of memento mori. It doesn't create urgency in a frantic way. It creates clarity in a profound way. It forces you to prioritize. It reminds you not to waste your finite time and energy on things that do not contribute to a life of virtue and meaning. It is the ultimate cure for the disease of someday. 16. Virtue as the sole good. This is the North Star of the Stoic. The ultimate goal is not wealth, fame, or pleasure. The ultimate goal is virtue, to live a life of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Why is this so critical for avoiding burnout? Because all other goals are external. They are subject to the whims of fortune. If your happiness depends on closing the deal, you will be emotionally destroyed if the deal falls through. But if your goal is to act with virtue, to be honest, fair, and courageous during the negotiation, then you have already won. The outcome is irrelevant to your sense of self-worth. You controlled what you could control, your own character. When your primary aim is to be a good man, you become psychologically invincible. External events can no longer crush you because your prize is internal. This is a level of freedom very few men ever achieve. 17. Redefining true toughness. Our culture has a cartoonish definition of toughness. It's about gritting your teeth and enduring pain no matter what. The silent suffering. This isn't toughness. It's foolishness. Stoic toughness is not about endurance. It is about wisdom. The truly tough man has the courage to push through necessary hardship. But he also has the wisdom to know when to rest. He has the wisdom to know when to change course. He has the wisdom to admit he was wrong. He has the humility to ask for help. Senseless endurance is a sign of ego, not strength. It's the ego that says, I cannot stop, or I will look weak. The Stoic is not concerned with looking weak. He is concerned with being effective. And sometimes, the most effective, wisest, and toughest thing a man can do is to stop, to recover, and to choose a better strategy. 18. The community of the wise. Stoicism is often portrayed as a solitary pursuit, the lone sage on the mountain. This is a misunderstanding. The Stoics were active in their communities. They were senators, generals, and teachers, and they understood the importance of surrounding yourself with the right people. Seneca wrote extensively about choosing your friends wisely. If you are surrounded by people who glorify burnout, who celebrate exhaustion as a status symbol, you will be pulled into their vortex. Your environment will sabotage your philosophy. To truly live these principles, you must seek out a community of the wise. Surround yourself with men who value reason over reaction, who value discipline over motivation, who value character over reputation. Your circle should be a source of strength and accountability, not a source of pressure to conform to a broken model of success. 19. A practical, anti-burnout Stoic routine. Philosophy is useless if it is not lived. So let's make this practical. Here is a simple 3-part daily routine. 1. The morning. Before you check your phone, spend 5 minutes preparing for your day. Contemplate the challenges ahead. Premeditatio malorum. Remind yourself of the dichotomy of control. Set an intention to act with virtue. 2. Throughout the day, practice the pause. Before reacting to an email or a request, take one deep breath. Ask, what is the wise and virtuous way to respond here? 3. The evening. Spend 10 minutes with a journal. Review your day. Where did I act in accordance with my principles? Where did I fall short? What can I learn? This is not about self-criticism. It is about self-correction. This simple routine, practiced with consistency, will build your inner citadel faster than anything else. 20. The choice, slave to urgency or master of intention. Ultimately, it comes down to a choice. The path of the herd leads to burnout. It is a path governed by the tyranny of urgency, the fear of missing out, and the desperate need for external approval. It is a life of frantic, reactive motion. It is a life of psychological slavery. The Stoic path is the path of the 1%. It is a path governed by deliberate intention, by a clear understanding of what is and is not in your control, and by an unwavering commitment to your own inner virtue. It is a life of calm, purposeful action. It is a life of psychological freedom. The world will continue to sell you the burnout lie. It will continue to promise rewards for your self-destruction. The choice to buy that lie or to reject it in favour of a superior philosophy is entirely yours. So, we return to where we began. The great deception. Burnout is not a badge of honour. It is a symptom of a flawed strategy. It is the price you pay for living reactively in a world designed to overwhelm you. True power, true resilience, is not found in the chaotic energy of pushing through. It is found in the quiet, unshakable calm of thinking through. It is forged in the daily practice of controlling your perceptions, directing your actions properly, and accepting what is outside of your control. This is the Stoic alternative. It is not an easy path. It requires awareness, discipline, and a willingness to reject the conventional wisdom of the herd. But it is the only path that leads to genuine strength and enduring freedom. Stop pushing through. Start building your inner citadel. Thank you for investing your time. If this framework resonates with you, subscribe to join the men who are choosing a different path. Now I want you to commit to one action. In the comments below, tell us, what is the one Stoic principle from this video you will implement starting today?